Hi, everyone. Thank you for your patience and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Lara Masenka. I am the Deputy Director of Events here at Philabundance. I head up the volunteer team, and we're excited to have you here with us. I wish we could be in person, but in the meantime, I will now introduce our CEO, Loree Jones.
Thank you so much, Laura. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our volunteer town hall. It is absolutely a delight and a pleasure to have a chance to celebrate you, even in this unique virtual kind of way. As you probably know, April is National Volunteer Month, a month dedicated to recognizing and promoting volunteerism. And this week specifically is National Volunteer Week, a time to celebrate the impact of volunteer service and to turn the spotlight on you, some of our most dedicated volunteers. Now, of course, in different times, we would gather together in person, hopefully with good food, I would say prepared by our own PCK kitchen, with laughter, with music to celebrate your many achievements and your impact. But until those days are upon us again, I'm grateful that we at least get to connect virtually. Phil Abundance founder, Pamela Rainey Lawler, once said, volunteers are the heart and soul of Phil Abundance. And I couldn't agree more. Volunteers touch every aspect of our operations, from collecting and packing food to getting that food to clients and supporting us behind the scenes in the office. All of your efforts make a difference, and all of your efforts help us serve people in the greater Philadelphia area. Now, did you know that last fiscal year, and our fiscal year runs from October to September, last fiscal year, 4,000 volunteers spent 29,000 hours working side by side with our staff and agency partners. That is just a remarkable number. And those efforts, those 29,000 hours of service, saved us collectively over $600,000. So with that, I'll ask you to give yourselves a round of applause. Nice. I love the applause track because you know we'd be giving you roaring applause if we were in person. In a year when the global pandemic kept so many people at home and socially distanced, you, our heroes, still showed up, ready to work and ready to get the job done. The COVID-19 pandemic not only kept us apart, it also, as you know, more than most, caused an alarming increase in our region's food insecurity rate. Our partner agencies reported seeing an up to 60% increase in the need for food, with 40% of those people seeking out assistance for the first time. Your service, along with the generosity of our donors, allowed us to increase our efforts to meet that growing need. In fiscal year 2020, Phil Abundance distributed 52 million pounds of food, compared to 28 million pounds of food the prior year. Again, I will pause for a round of virtual applause because we could not have done that without you. On behalf of everyone here at Phil Abundance, our staff, our board, I want you to know that we are truly grateful for all of you, for all of our volunteers, for all that you've done, particularly over the last year. But our work is far from over. Food insecurity continues to be a major issue in our community, and we are continuing to grow and improve our efforts to relieve hunger now, and of course, to work to end hunger for good. As value team members, I'd like to share with you some details of what you can expect to see in the coming months. So first, you may have noticed a few new faces when you have volunteered in our facilities. We're working to have the right people in the right places as we quickly expand our operation. This means adding new staff in many different areas of the organization that will help us properly scale to distribute even more food and to grow our impact. Along with more people, you can expect to see more food. Given our success in distributing over 50 million pounds of food in fiscal year 2020, we've set that goal to meet or exceed that number again this year. And actually, we are on track to do so. But the pandemic has shifted how we source food. You'll see less food drives and less retail rescue food, which historically had been huge ways that we got food. And that's historically what we've asked you to help us sort and pack. Those donations decreased, but we've been able to use donated funds to purchase more food to fill that gap. And by increasing our food spend, we've been able to source more of what the people we serve actually want. So that would be more culturally appropriate food, for example. And as you know better than most, that increased amount of food requires more volunteers. So in the coming weeks and months, especially over the summer, please expect to see an increase in the number of volunteer opportunities that we'll be offering. And of course, over time, once the COVID and CDC restrictions change, we'll be able to increase the numbers of people in our volunteerships as well. Now, I hope this means that we'll get to see more of each of you. But we also understand that your schedule may vary. If you're unable to participate in some of the new volunteer opportunities, I hope you'll share your volunteer experience with your friends and your networks and encourage other people to join you in service or to sign up themselves. I think if you think we could be doing a better job to talk about the work that we do, to invite people to participate, or frankly, just to operate differently, and to make your volunteer experience better, please let us know. We definitely want to know and to continue to improve. Now, also looking further ahead, we're taking some time at Philabundance to develop a strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years. To provide a little bit of context, our last strategic plan was completed about October 2014. So it ran for 2014 to 2019. And obviously, we didn't have a chance in 2020 with all going on, including leadership transitions, to start that planning process again. But the board has initiated the new planning process for strategic plan here in 2021. This provides us an opportunity to evaluate who we are, what we do, and where we're headed in the future. We will establish our long-term goals and the actions and tactics that we'll use to achieve them. The process to develop this plan doesn't just include our board and our staff. It also involves a number of external stakeholders. And we've already been in touch with some of you to learn more of your perspectives as we figure out what our direction should be in the future. In addition to strategic planning and additional volunteer opportunities, wanted to share that we've also created a diversity, equity, and inclusion task force that will guide our organization in creating purposeful DEI practices. All of us at Philabundance are committed to fostering an inclusive environment for our staff, volunteers, partners, and the people we serve, and weaving the work of the task force into all that we do. I'd actually like to reintroduce Laura and note that she is one of our volunteer task force members of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion task force that we have here. You've probably seen Laura. Maybe if you volunteered in the last few weeks, you've seen her here at Galloway, but you may have seen her if you've participated in any of our virtual town halls over the last year. Just a quick commercial. If you have not, I encourage you to visit our website. She, Sarah Hertz, the entire development team have put together some really informative and engaging virtual town halls that give everyone a deeper sense of the work we do and the work we do with our partners. So I encourage you to check that out. And just once again, I want to thank Laura for her incredible work in putting those events together for us. But now I will reintroduce you to Laura Masenka, who oversees our volunteer program, to share a few more updates with you. Laura?
Thanks, Loree. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. I wanted to share some updates about the volunteers program specifically. We're making changes to how we engage with you. So that means in how we share information with you and how we're collecting feedback. You can expect to see more regular updates on what's happening at Philabundance. We will share information and announcements through a variety of sources to keep you in the know. So we hope to start a newsletter. We will have more signage around the volunteer room. So when you're here, you can take a look at what's going on. And of course, if there's another way that we can connect with you, we'd like to hear that. We will also be making time to check in with you. You are our eyes and our ears on the ground, and we truly value your feedback and your point of view. A couple times throughout the year, we'll start to have more of these kind of sessions, town hall sessions, where we are asking you to be honest with us and give us feedback on what you're seeing and what you think we could do better. And we'll also take that opportunity again to hopefully celebrate our accomplishments in person, but in the meantime, we'll plan for virtual. And now I'd like to take a second to introduce Marcus Richardson, who is our volunteer program manager, who started with us on Monday. He will be overseeing the program moving forward and helping to ramp up on some of these engagement efforts and scheduling more shifts as we get into the summer. Marcus has a background working on political campaigns and with volunteers in that area, and he brings just a lot of great experience to the program. So Marcus, if you don't mind turning your camera on and saying hello to everyone, give them a little background on you.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Awesome. I'm Marcus, and I'm glad to be here. Very excited to join this program. As Lori mentioned early on, it's your time spent volunteering with us cannot be understated. It's very valuable to us, and we really want to come out here and have a good time volunteering. And I'm looking forward to building that program out. Also, as Laura mentioned, I really want this to be an inclusive process. So any input that you do have, please feel free to reach out to me any which way, email, phone, or even pop into the office if you're volunteering, and I'll be glad to have a chat with you on how we can make things better for everyone.
Thank you, Marcus. And now I'd like to open things up for any questions that you might have. So feel free to use the chat function. We have the Q&A box. Just go ahead and submit questions there. And while we're waiting for that, I would like to actually share a question with you that I got today that I think will apply to a lot of people listening in. So um, someone wanted to know, when can we have teenagers start to volunteer again? Right now, I'm sure most of you are aware, our minimum age to volunteer is 18, and we set that parameter back at the beginning of the pandemic. We had to alter, a lot of our operations, and so we are hopeful that as vaccines become more available in the region and open up to more of the population, that we'll be able to take a look at how we're running volunteer shifts and hopefully adjust those parameters. So keep an eye out over the summer. And I'm sorry, it looks like someone raised their hand. Hi, Liddy. Oh no,
Am I there?
we can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm sorry I'm late. Go ahead, you can continue.
Do you have any questions right now?
No, I'm just gonna listen for
Okay.
now. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Liddy. Great to hear your voice. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Good.
I'm not very good at the Zoom thing. This is probably my second time I've ever done it. So if I'm messing up, I'm sorry.
You are doing fine, and it's great to hear your voice. One of the challenges, there's so many challenges with COVID and doing things virtually. Fortunately, many of you, we do get a chance. I've got a chance to say hi to, and we get a chance to actually see you. And so it's kind of different to go from seeing you here,
Yeah.
packing here at the hub, and then making it virtual. But we're so delighted that you were able to at least come. We wanted to take this moment at the National Volunteer Week to let you know how much we appreciate you and just provide you some additional one-on-one time with us and opportunities to ask any questions that you have. So if you have them, you can put them in the chat or use a Q&A feature, or Laura will figure out some raise hand way to get you. And I do see, Laura, that a couple of questions came through. Do you want to take those or?
Yeah. Sure. So someone asked, will weekend shifts be a possibility? And I will say we're always looking at our operation and trying to figure out what works for the agencies that we work with and when the food deliveries are coming in. And so um, at this time, we don't have weekend shifts available, but I know a lot of our agency partners, they give out food on the weekends, and so they might be in need of volunteers for those shifts. I understand that weekday shifts sometimes conflict with work obligations. So we don't have weekend shifts right now, but it is a possibility in the future.
So there's also a question, when will the hunger relief afternoon schedule be posted?
Thank you for asking that. We are actually, we do have our afternoon schedule posted for the Hunger Relief Center through the end of May. And you might be asking that because we don't have a lot of afternoon shifts. So we are focusing our efforts on packing senior boxes and sorting product during the morning shifts. And again, that just really has to do with when we're getting food in and how it's moving through the warehouse.
Thank you. Can a volunteer show up even though they weren't scheduled?
While we appreciate the enthusiasm, we do ask that you you come when you're scheduled, just because we are limiting the number of people in the building and the number of volunteers that we have working on the line. So that allows for people to be socially distant and operate in a safe way. So we do ask that you follow your schedule, and we hope to be able to expand the number of shifts available later this year. Right.
And
Um,
Laura,
and-
Laura, I don't think we've talked primarily about the shifts here at Galloway Hub and repack shifts. Can we talk about some opportunities at our spectacular new Phil Abundance Community Kitchen space?
Absolutely. So Phil Abundance Community Kitchen opened a new facility within the last year. And in our production kitchen, we are in need of volunteers to help us package meals and sandwiches that will go out to pantries and shelters, senior centers. So it's you're working side by side with some of our best chefs, and also a 4-hour shift, pretty short, some morning and some afternoon availability, but all weekdays. So if you are interested in doing a different activity, changing things up, those signups are also available on our website, and that building is located at 10th and Susquehanna, up near Temple.
So for any like new chefs out there or folks practicing for Chopped or Iron Chef or something, you can get some practice volunteering with us at PCK. Someone said, I think I've heard rumors about maybe bringing back Fresh for All distributions. Is that going to be an opportunity for more volunteers?
We are always evaluating the needs of the community, and so sometimes that may mean some direct distributions. Fresh for Alls used to be when we would take produce out and distribute it ourselves. Our model right now really focuses on distributing food to agencies, and then they will get it out into the community. But as the climate changes or situation changes, we may work on direct distributions. An example of that is over this past summer, neighborhood in Philadelphia, Eastwick, flooded, and a lot of their residents were in need. And so we decided to set up a direct distribution there. So again, it's really dependent on the need and how we can best serve our neighbors in need.
And there's not a question, but a comment, and I'm not sure if everybody on can see it, and some people are on the phone. So I'm going to read what Kelly said. I have loved, and she emphasized loved, I have loved volunteering at the community kitchen. Such a great opportunity to work with the culinary students. Very inspiring. Thank you, Kelly. And Martha asked if kids' meals will start up again in the fall.
So we are still giving out children's meals. We are working with our agency partners to get the kids' backpacks out. We were originally distributing those to the schools, and as the schools closed and kids were learning virtually, we shifted that distribution to our agencies. So we still have the backpack distributions right now.
So Laura, I think those are all the questions I saw. I'm glad that really great questions and great comments. And part of what I'm hearing from this dedicated group of volunteers is how can we do more and how can we help you do more? And we appreciate that. And we absolutely, in our efforts to, as we said, to hit that 50 million pound mark again, but then to exceed that, we are planning of how else we could do that and how else we could work with agency partners with more volunteers and other ways to do that. So we definitely will be calling on you and letting you know first when we're able to do that. And so glad that you asked about our children programming. Obviously, one of the things that breaks our hearts, the food insecurity numbers are absolutely terrible. When you think that inside of that there are kids that don't have food, and that affects their development, their ability to go to learn in school, at home, virtually, and to know that we're able to fill that need is important. And we've been able to, particularly with great support and donors, you probably saw the Toyota Little Abundance program over the last year that expanded our backpack program. We are partnering with the city and the department right now, City of Philadelphia, to see about doing some additional programming with them. So we are always looking to expand that programming. So I don't think there's another question, Laura, but if it's okay with you, I'd love to tee up a quick special presentation for people.
For all the folks who are not here today, I want to say thank you. Thank you what you do. You're giving hope. You're actually giving life to so many people. Through no fault of their own, they find themselves in a situation where they can't provide for themselves or their families. We got to end hunger in America. There should be no hunger in America. And it's one of my objectives, particularly child hunger. And so what you're doing here makes a difference. You know, they quote the phrase from the Bible, what you do unto the least of my brethren, you do unto me. This is what it's all about. You're making a world of difference. You really are. Thank you. May God bless you. May God protect all these kids you're worried about.
Pretty special, right? You all know that back in January, King Day of Service, because some of you were on the line or actually with us, we had a chance to host then President-elect Biden. He was standing right in our Galloway volunteer room. And as you saw in the video, he's standing in front of the area that he and Dr. Biden both signed. They signed notes really to all of you and to our staff and team. And what an honor to have been able to highlight food insecurity in this issue with his presence on that day. And it looks like we have a couple of other special people saying thank you to us.
Some of our sports team supporters, the Phillies and the Flyers, the Union, they couldn't be here with us, but they are definitely appreciative of the work that you help us do. And so they sent us some selfies, thank you selfies. So hopefully we have some Philly sports fans out there, but we have the Phillies broadcasters, some Flyers players, and can't forget the Philadelphia Union. So thank you from all of us.
I love it. This is great. So hopefully in this virtual way, through the videos, through the images, through the pictures and the thank you signs, hopefully you're starting to feel some of the warmth and appreciation that we all feel for you. We're so incredibly grateful for what you do. You know that the work we do is critically important. You know that across our service area, more and more people are in these challenging situations. And because of you and with you and through you, we're able to make their lives, give them a little bit of hope and make their lives a little bit better by providing them with access to fresh, healthy food. So we so appreciate you. We love you and appreciate all that you're doing for Phil Abundance. Thank you.